Are you ready?
Yeah.
I'm ready. Listen, Matt. I listen, man.
I'm listening.
Listen.
I'm listening.
I don't know where you want to start.
It doesn't matter.
I have some ideas.
Go ahead. What's
you know
your
what?
ideas?
We are in America.
Yeah, you want to marry? You want to marry
Yeah,
American?
like listen. Well, how about this?
How about what?
Let me find an American national anthem in
You want me to sing the national anthem?
that would be nice if you can sing the national anthem. I'm gonna find it in an instrument version.
Do I have to sing the whole song?
Just find the short one, the Spangled Banner.
Yeah, but I would just rather do it a cappella.
How about if we get it like I'm gonna get the instrument, you actually sing the voice.
Yeah, but I'd rather just do it without instruments.
Is that what you want to do?
If we're gonna do it, I'd rather do it like that.
Oh, okay. I mean, if you're that good, it looks like you're confident. Are you confident?
The instrumentals, they kind of like pigeonhole you. You know, they make you sing a certain way. If you don't have instrumentals going on, you can sing it however you want. It's a blank piece of paper. With instruments, there's margins. No margins. We don't want margins.
Ladies and gentlemen, Umbani Live, Umbani Radio, downtown Danbury, Connecticut, the national anthem of the United States of America, the greatest country in the world. We got Matt. Matt is going to lead us with a national anthem. Go ahead, Matt.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light, which so proudly we hail as the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Yay!
And I told you
nailed it.
And I told you it would sound better.
You nailed it.
And I told you it would sound better without instrumentals in it.
You were right. My brother, listen, I'm really happy. I'm trying to think about it. I've never called a white guy my brother. Now I'm calling you my brother, bro.
I appreciate that.
I really appreciate
You're my soul
You're
brother.
really good. Am I your soul brother?
Yeah,
what does that mean?
Brother. Yeah, you're my South African brother.
Okay, say South African brother. Because if you say I'm your soul brother, I'm not too sure what that means.
I mean, it can mean a lot of things.
I know. Especially since you said something about the Vaseline you sold over there.
Well, yeah, you have a bottle of Vaseline there, and then you have like some paper towels, and then for some reason you have Christmas lights. I don't know what the hell is going on in the studio, what the hell kind of operation you're running, but it's making me a little bit uncomfortable.
I have makeup too, bro. You want some makeup?
Yeah, let's not get into that.
Listen, man, great to have you, my brother. Listen, guys, ladies and gentlemen, this is Cooley Umbani Radio, Umbani Live, downtown Danbury, Connecticut. I have Matt here in the studio. Matt is one of our friends, and he just came through, and we're going to be talking about a lot of things. But you know what, Matt? You killed me, man. I really, honestly speaking, no underestimation. I actually didn't expect you that you can sing this good.
No?
Well, I mean,
where would you rate it? What would you rate it as?
What do you mean?
Yeah, I'm saying like 1 to 10. Where would you rate it?
Oh, okay, 1 to 10. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna say I'm not really good at rating music. Just by me being just an honest person who really care about you. I'm gonna say from 1 to 10, I'm gonna give you an 8.
Hey, beautiful.
Thank you.
8's a beautiful number. 8's a beautiful number. You don't even want to be 10 because the expectations are too high.
Yeah.
8, 7, or 8, that's exactly where you want to be. With anything.
Yeah. You're really good though.
Thanks, man. I
Yeah,
appreciate
you're really
it.
good.
Thank you.
Oh man, you killed it. So listen, Matt. I mean, there's so many things we're gonna talk about today, but I have
Can
to
we talk about? Can we talk about drinking beer out of a coffee mug?
Oh, but you know, I told you, dude. At least people not paying me shit.
I'm just saying, it's just weird drinking a beer out of a coffee mug. It's just a little odd.
Okay, what do you prefer to drink beer on? I told you I can offer you a glass.
I don't know, the can. We should have brought like a little tape, and then we could have like taped over the brand label. See, and then next time. Yeah,
good idea.
Time. That's for next time.
You know what you can do right now?
What can I do?
Just take one of those paper towels. You can just lick it and just cover it. Just make it wet enough to cover the beer.
Well, it is already wet, so.
Yeah, cover the beer. Show the beer to everybody. Dude, they can still see PBR on that
Okay,
thing.
we're drinking fucking PBR.
Dude, I really appreciate you being here,
Absolutely.
man.
I appreciate you having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So listen, Matt, I'm not going to waste too much of your time, bro, because I know for sure we have a limited amount of time that we're going to be talking. So now, listen, I want to start right into it. I'm not going to tell people how we know each other, but I'm going to talk about your new profession coming up because I think it's a very important thing. Not just because I know you as a friend. The fact that you're going to be an RN, which is a registered nurse.
Correct.
And you're also interested in a field which I think I can easily see you excel in it. But can I just ask you, how was the road being an RN, man? Was it hard, easy? How was it?
Well, technically, I'm not an RN yet. So I have to pass the NCLEX. Well, at least for my personal definition, I don't think you're an RN until you pass the NCLEX and you get a job and you practice as an RN. But
what is the N collection now?
So the NCLEX is a licensure test you have to take to become, it's a board test to become a registered nurse.
Okay.
And then once you take the test, well, you can get a job before you take the test. But typically, you would take the test and then get a job.
But do you have a job lined up yet?
I don't. I applied some places. I'm looking near back, and I want to do psychiatric nursing, right?
Yeah.
But to answer your first question, the road to becoming an RN, it involves a lot of sacrifice, a lot of studying, a lot of hard work, and a lot of vices. Sometimes the consumption of alcohol to like relax your nerves.
Yeah.
Sometimes, but it's
wait. What alcohol were you drinking during the time of?
Just whatever alcohol I can get my hands on, really. But I do like classic American beer, so I like Bud Light, I like PBR. I do occasionally like to drink maybe some Heinekens,
Oh, okay.
But
Heineken is better than anything else.
Heineken's delicious. It is very delicious.
Let me ask you a question. Does Heineken make you gassy too?
I don't think I've ever thought about it. It might.
Oh, what do you mean? So are you full of gas? Is that that kind of guy?
Well, I am full of shit. I don't know if I'm full of gas. I am full of shit. I don't know if it makes me gassy, but maybe next time what we'll do is we'll get a bunch of Heinekens, we'll record a podcast, right, and then we'll figure out what happens.
And I just have to keep the mic right by your ass then see
just right there, and keep the window open too, because
absolutely. I would have the fan blowing too.
Yeah, so basically, man, it's just a lot of schooling, prerequisites, a lot of sciences. You have to take some prerequisites, like in math and English, you have to have some kind of base. And then it's nursing classes, and then it's going on the floor and, taking care of patients and clinical work and tests and studying, and that's pretty much it. You just got to grind it out.
What make you interested in psychiatry?
I've always found that the brain is the most interesting organ. It's the most complex. It's the least understood of all of them. And so like when something goes wrong with the heart, for instance, right? Like let's say someone has a heart attack. Blood supply is being cut off to a portion of the heart, so the muscles die. We know what's happening there, right? Now, to some extent, when it comes to the brain, we know what's happening. But there are some stuff that we just don't understand. And it's harder to treat people with psychiatric disorders. So it's just interesting and how the brain can... So that loud noise you heard was the window slamming down.
Oh,
That was
damn,
really
man.
fucking
Do
loud.
I need to actually...
That was good. think it just broke. I think it just broke the glass. Actually,
It did?
No,
Anyway, Matt, you were still explaining that what interests you with psychiatry. I think that's what you were saying.
so number one, out of all the organs in the brain, out of all the organs in the body, the brain is the most fascinating to me. Okay, that's the first reason. Number two, psychiatric patients are a very underserved community in terms of clinical patients. They're misunderstood. They're seen as crazy. They're a lot of them are in poverty. A lot of them, if you walk down Danbury on Main Street, you'll see people talking to themselves. They're probably schizophrenic. And I guess I've always had like a desire to help people, to give back. And it seems like going into nursing, it only requires 2 years of schooling. And not to mention that it pays well. I mean, that is a factor. You have to factor in income. So I guess just the combination of all those things led me to want to become a nurse.
But now let me ask you, are you not afraid of this crazy patients, dude? Because I think in psychiatry...
Don't call them crazy.
Well, I mean, that's just a general term that is used commonly. I'm not saying that they are crazy. I'm just, making an I'm just saying it. But anyway, I don't know why I call them crazy now. But anyway, let me just say this. Aren't you just not afraid that it's kind of a risky environment? I don't know, because some of the places I have no idea because I've never worked in that environment. But I do have an understanding that some of the places, there's been incidents where nurses get in some sort of problems with those kind of people. What doesn't that scare you a little bit? It
does scare you, but fear is not always a bad thing, by the way. It makes you more vigilant, If you're in this type of, and I'm not yet, I'm hoping to be, but if I do get into this type of nursing, having an element of fear in there is not a bad thing, because you have to protect yourself. You have to be on guard. You have to be aware of your situation, and you have to know what's going on. So being fearful isn't necessarily a bad thing in this case.
Oh man, I commend you, my brother, because you know what, dude, we need a lot of people like yourself who really are determined to what they want to do, and they know what they want to do, and they actually have a passion for it. Because a lot of people who do certain works, they just think about the money. They don't think about actually, am I interested to doing this? But if you can still do it, and I'm hoping a lot of kids, even in Africa, who are really interested into doing any kind of psychiatry, they can actually talk to people like Matt, who's going to be involved in the field and who's going to start his job as an RN pretty soon. I know for sure you're going to get a job soon. You're a smart kid.
Thanks.
You're a very, very smart kid. And you actually make some good observations. One of them is your choice of political affiliation, which is not hidden, is out in the open. What do you think is going to happen tomorrow? We got a big debate tomorrow. What are you guys going to be fighting about tomorrow? When I say you guys, because I'm an independent.
Well, I mean, I guess, so I've gone, in terms of my political ideology, I've kind of like gone over pretty much all of them, from like left to libertarian to leftist to Republican to
How did you
conservative.
come up to be a Democrat? You're a Democrat,
So
right?
I'm actually not a registered Democrat.
So you're an independent?
I'm a registered Republican. I just haven't changed it. So I used to be a Republican. I was raised in a right-leaning family. So I'm technically right now a registered Republican.
So
I just have been lazy and haven't went.
Your family is, are they leaning right?
Yes, absolutely.
So is your family okay with you leaning Democrat?
Well,
right
yeah,
now?
they think there's something wrong with me, but I think there's something wrong with them, so it's okay.
Well, how did you come up to that conclusion, though, that you want to be a Democrat, or you leaning Democrat?
I wouldn't even necessarily say I'm a Democrat.
What are you, though?
So I don't know. Like I think it's too simplistic to say that I am a Democrat, or am I a Republican, or I'm a leftist. It's just, you tell me a policy and I'll tell you what I feel about it, and then you can name me whatever you want.
But now
I don't care about naming myself anything.
With the system, the American system,
the
the way
stupid.
it is, the American system, the way it is, you pretty much have to choose who you want.
I reject that. I reject that.
Okay, how do you reject it though?
I just reject the idea that I have to box myself into one type of political ideology.
Well, but when you have to vote, you have to kind of box yourself to one ideology.
So when another reason why I'm a registered Republican is because I liked Ron Paul in the 2008 election in the Republican primary because he was very anti-war.
The old man Ron Paul.
Yeah, old man Ron Paul.
Isn't his son like Randy Paul or something?
His
from
name
Texas?
is Rand Paul. Yeah, he's a congressman from Texas.
Oh, from Texas, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who are you thinking is doing good right now in the Democratic Party?
So are you asking me who I think is going to win or who I like?
I mean, you can answer both.
Well, it's first of all, it's too early. We have 6 months into the first primaries.
Dude, did you see the poll numbers are already out? What are you talking about? It's too early.
Yeah, but I mean, the first primaries are 6 months away. The poll numbers are a changing thing. They're not static. They change over time. Elizabeth Warren, for instance, have been surging in the polls
But it's
recently.
enough to sway the vote to some of the people that are still in the middle. It's still enough to sway the vote. So when you see these numbers are just not crazy numbers being thrown out there. Those are the numbers to influence people, to keep the debate going.
Well, they're not influencing people. They're just they're trying to represent what the people what people are currently thinking about the candidates. Those can evolve.
Can I ask you a question though? Because I've never met anybody who has ever been polled. Yeah. So who are these people? Who are the people they polled?
No, you're right. I have no idea. I haven't looked into it.
So
I've never talked to anyone who's been polled.
Do you think this is some sort of a conspiracy to sway the vote?
We're going to the conspiracy theory? No, I mean, I'm sure they're polling to some people. I don't really know, to be honest with you. Maybe that's something I should look into, is who's being polled, who's doing the polling. Well, we know who's doing the polling. Where are they going to ask the people? But, I mean, you make a good observation. I've never talked to anybody who's been polled. But, again, why would someone come up and be like, oh, hey, Cooley, guess what I was today? I was polled. So, I mean, you don't really know. Who really knows?
That's true, though. That's true. Hey, listen, you know what? Talking about politics,
yes.
I'm gonna go back to this thing. What do you think about tomorrow? One thing is, I talked to a friend of mine. Did you think this was wrong that this guy didn't tell me that he didn't like Obama the whole entire primary, and he told me, let's say, the second term of Obama, he said in a conversation, he didn't actually tell me. He said it in a conversation. That's why I didn't want to vote for that effing blah, 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 blah. This is a black dude. He didn't vote. He voted for McCain, dude.
Well, that's fine. I have no problem with that.
You don't think I was betrayed here? I think because I told him who the good guy is, and I gave him all the information, and we're having a conversation. He never told me that he don't like Obama. All of the sudden, he voted for McCain. I think that was kind of I think it was a wrong move.
What's your objection to him voting for McCain? You didn't like the fact that he voted for McCain because of why? Because
I didn't have any problem with him not voting for McCain. Actually, I do like McCain.
Because I was going to say, because you're a right-leaning person.
No, I'm not. I'm not. No. I actually, Matt.
You're an independent,
Matt, listen, man. I think that kind of actually wrong for me to sound like that, because the thing is, I do have conservative views. Mm-hmm. I do have a lot of them. So when I say that to you, I mean I have conservative views, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I lean Republican. But if there was a good candidate who's actually
a Democrat, for instance, you would vote for him.
Yeah, if there's a good candidate in a Republican Party, I'll vote for him. But I'll tell you right now, I ain't voting for Trump. I'm voting.
Neither am I. We're in agreement there.
I can tell you who I'm going to vote for, but not on this show. I'll tell you another day. You said it's too early, so why should I be saying things?
Well, I mean, it's too early to make a call as to who's going to win. It's not too early for you to voice who you'd like to win. There's a difference there.
Can I ask you a question? Can you vote for somebody who's not running?
Yeah, you can write someone in. Yeah. Are you gonna write me in? Is that what you're saying?
You know what, dude? I can easily write you in, Matt, but what did I get out of it?
But who would you write in, though? Because obviously you have someone in mind.
Listen, I do have a guy that I like, but I will save this for another show. Well, man, now let's talk about it right now.
Okay, so who would you write
There's a guy that I like, Governor Kasich from Ohio.
You mentioned before that you like Kasich. I mean, he's not the worst of the Republicans, you know?
He's not a Republican, actually. He's more moderate Republican than anything. I don't know. His ideas are not Republican ideas, man. And he doesn't go with the bandwagon. You know what I mean? I don't think he goes with the bandwagon.
I would acknowledge the fact that he is a moderate. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. For sure. I wouldn't vote for him. I would probably vote for the Democrat over any of the
No,
Republicans.
on the next election, bro, I'm not gonna lie to you.
That's
on
actually
the
not
next
true.
election is very important, so I cannot write anybody in. I'm just joking about that.
Hey, you can do whatever you want. That's the beauty
Of America.
Yes.
Now, so tomorrow is a big debate.
Yes. Well, there's 2 debates. There's one on Wednesday and there's one on Thursday.
Which one are you gonna watch?
Well, both.
Who do you think is gonna do good on it? Who's in tomorrow? Who's actually being?
I mean, there's 20 candidates.
So tomorrow, who do we have? Who we have tomorrow? Did you check it out?
Tomorrow, I might not get them all, but tomorrow you have Joe Biden, you have Pete Buttigieg, you have Kamala Harris, Kirsten Gillibrand. I believe Julian Castro is on there. A lot of the big names are on Thursday. Tomorrow is Elizabeth Warren and a bunch of people who are probably not going to win the nomination.
So when is Joe Biden? You said
Joe Biden is Thursday.
Buttigieg. What is Buttigieg? When is Buttigieg? I'm sorry, I said Buttigieg.
I think it's Buttigieg.
Buttigieg.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, he's on Thursday. So, hey, listen, let me talk about Buttigieg because I wanted to ask you, there was something that I saw about Buttigieg. Well, I want to make sure I say his name correctly. Buttigieg. Because to me, it looked like Buttigieg. But Buttigieg. So basically, there is an article over here. I found it on Fox News. So do not be alarmed because this is just a legitimate.
Yeah, it's a legitimate, fair and balanced. Fair and balanced. Listen, Fox News does some good reporting.
Listen, I found this online. It wasn't on Sean Hannity or anything like that. But anyway, it says the South Bend, Indiana Union is accusing, the South Bend, Indiana Police Union is accusing the city mayor and the Democratic presidential candidate, Pete Buttigieg, of making decisions on an officer involved in a fatal shooting solely for his political gain. The charge from the South Bend Fraternal Order of Police Lodge number 36 comes as Buttigieg, who soared from a long shot to top tie contender for the Democratic nomination, is facing a first serious test of his presidential campaign. So, I guess on Monday, he said, or what did he say on Monday? Actually, you know what? I think I might have an audio for this. I don't know if I want to play the audio. Let me see.
Basically, what happened in South? He's the mayor of South Bend, Indiana.
So you
right?
know the story, right?
Yeah, he's the mayor of South Bend, Indiana, and there's, from my understanding, I haven't really looked into it, but an unarmed black, or supposedly he had a knife. A black man was killed by the South Bend Police Department. And he got skewered in like a town hall where people were questioning him, and that's about as far as I know about it.
Let's listen to the little bit of this audio. I don't know if it's good enough, but let's listen a little bit of this audio. I wanna hear your opinion on this.
It's the worst fucking cup ever.
Oh, come on, relax. Let's listen a little bit of this audio by Pete Buttigieg. So in a town hall meeting.
Constituents in his hometown of South Bend this weekend. While taking a break from the campaign trail, the 2020 Democratic contender held a town hall where he came under intense scrutiny from residents who blamed him for not being present enough, after the deadly shooting of a black man by a white police officer.
Sure. So,
if everyone can just, we're going to allow him to speak if everyone can just calm down.
All right, so we know that the debates are coming up this week. It is. Greg,
let me cut off that Fox News audio.
Yeah,
actually,
much,
so basically they were like heckling him.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say heckling; they were engaging him. But the problem I see, they weren't letting him respond. And I don't know the full story, so they might be justified in their anger. So I don't know, but it seemed like they weren't letting him respond to whatever they were saying.
But did he come up with a statement? Why are the police blaming him now? Did he come out with a statement?
I have no idea. I didn't read the statement.
Yeah, well, I actually did subscribe on his website because I do like Pete. That's what the guy I was going to tell you.
Yeah.
I'm actually monitoring Pete because the thing is, Pete is bringing something new.
Which is
very new.
What, that he's gay? Is that what you're getting at? The reason why I said that is because you smiled. He said he's bringing something new. I mean, it is new in terms of him being out, but I mean, just statistically, we probably have had a gay president. He just hasn't came out.
Do you have somebody in mind?
I don't have necessarily someone in mind, but it's just like 1 out of every 10 persons is. I'm probably bullshitting numbers here, but
they said
statistically,
Obama. They said Obama was a suspect.
I mean, I don't really know. Only only the person knows if they're gay or not. I'm assuming that we probably had a gay president. They just had to closet themselves, if I had to guess.
Let me ask you a question, though. I mean, I don't have a... Listen, with Pete, jokes aside, now being serious, the thing I like about Pete is his demeanor. You know, for me, that sells a lot, especially when it comes to a high office like that, like the presidential office. And another thing too, I like the fact that he doesn't skip a step when he talks, you know, like about policies and anything like that. He's not too comprehensive. So you kind of get all his points. But now the thing is, I don't think he should be a president yet, but I'm leaning towards him running as a vice president for somebody, of which I don't think is going to happen.
Who would
but
you pick, though, for that?
You know what, though, to be honest, I think Joe Biden is going to... I mean, listen, Joe is leading on the polls.
I mean, he is.
So
leading
you
the
have
polls.
to accept that.
I mean, I do accept it. I don't want him to win, but he's leading the polls. Yes.
Okay.
I mean, there's. You said that you like the fact that he's not comprehensive. I would prefer a candidate to be comprehensive. I want detailed plans. I want policy.
Dude,
I want it in writing. I want to know what you're doing, why you're doing it.
You need to stop that nonsense.
I'm not stopping that nonsense.
Because
no. That's
they're
important.
running against Trump. Trump doesn't give facts. Trump doesn't give facts. So if you want to win, don't talk on a speech that is going to make people fall asleep. They're going to wake up and vote for Trump again.
You make a good point. First of all, I like the way how you roll the R's. By the way,
I did.
When you say run, it's very. I like it. I wish I could do it. I can't do that. So first of all,
you gotta remember, you're in my show. You can't make fun of.
No, I'm not making fun of you. I'm saying it was good. Right. The rolling of the R's was good.
You're forgiven, even though you didn't apologize.
I'm deeply sorry.
Do you wanna bring that Vaseline?
I agree with you that Trump isn't his pitch to the American people is not going to be grounded in logic and policy.
Oh.
I agree. It's going to be more, getting at the pulling the heartstrings of the American people. You know, a lot in terms of like immigration, mostly in terms of immigration and cultural stuff.
Okay, can I ask you a question though? This is very important though. Yeah. Are the Democrats not missing a mark right now? The way they are attacking Trump, it looks like it's totally peddless and stupid. Because first of all,
to some extent,
you're not going to impeach Trump. Let's get that out of the way right now.
Well, they can impeach him. They're not going to convict him.
They're not going to impeach him.
So, so the way it works is that you can impeach someone in the House, right? But for them to be removed from office, they would have to be convicted in the Senate.
You know,
so the Democrats do have the majority in the House. They could impeach him. They could.
I don't care about the process. I care about
the process
the
matters.
Conversation.
Well, they could impeach him.
It shouldn't be a conversation right now because it's not going to happen. That's what I'm saying. Well, it's just like an unnecessary distraction if it's not going to happen.
Well, you said they're not going to impeach him.
They're not going to impeach him.
But they could.
I don't care if they could. If you know,
I agree. They shouldn't impeach him.
If you're not gonna do it, don't talk about it.
Well, I mean, it's a national conversation. I agree with you on this. I don't think they should impeach him. I think that I'm always for policy. Go back to policy. Call Trump out on his bullshit.
How do you like his economy though?
Well, it depends on how you view the economy. How do you what do you think is a good economy?
Well, Fox News does say that the economy is booming right now. And I think MSNBC and CNN, they said the economy is booming. Is it really booming?
Well, most people view I think in the context in which they're talking about, they think the economy is good in terms of stocks and shares are up, right? Yeah. But not every American owns stock, right?
True.
I think it's like 51%, a little bit over 50% of people own stock. So yeah, those people are probably doing good. The stock market's up. Also, the stock market has fluctuated because Trump is very volatile in his language, and what he says has a global impact. Okay. But if you're someone who doesn't own stock, right, and you haven't seen your pay goes up, now wages have increased under Trump, right? But it was kind of like on that way up under President Obama too. You know, you're not seeing the effects of the booming economy like someone else would. So it depends on who you are.
A lot of people are saying that since people are out there working. Okay, listen, I'm not one of those people that says the economy is booming because I'm still broke. And I still have a student loan. I still have a student loan I can pay. But I was going to say to you, a lot of people are saying the economy is booming because they are working. Because that's the most important thing at the end of the day for people. Am I working? Do I have a job?
Yeah, and well, to me, it's not just are they working, do they have a job? What kind of job do they have? Do they have a soul-sucking job? I would like to have less people working jobs where they're just sitting at a register bringing people out. And listen, maybe this is me being judgmental towards those people, but those are, to me, I view those as soul-sucking jobs. Those are not jobs where you're not being fulfilled with that. Maybe some people do, and I'm being
Can I just
here.
call you in order, though? Those soul-sucking jobs, they bring a paycheck in the table and people get to eat.
There's no question about it. Yes, they pay a wage. I would like to have, better jobs. And if those jobs were higher paying, it'd be obviously easier to stomach.
Well, I am not a defender. I was going to actually introduce my...
who's your...
my
Is
coach.
he drinking a Heineken right there?
Yeah. Hey, Sipo.
Hey, there's PBR in that freezer.
Come through and say hi. I'm introducing Sipo to Matt.
Hi, Matt. Is Matt?
Yeah, this is Matt.
But Edison...
No, Matt. Like M-A-T-T, like Matthew.
Oh, Matt.
Mateo. Can you say that?
Mateo.
Mateo.
That's it.
No,
Español.
that's Espanol.
Me llamo Mateo.
Okay, but in Zulu with Mateo.
Mateo.
No, Mateo.
Mateo.
Yes, that's
Mateo.
Mateo.
I like your accent, Cooley.
You do?
I like the way you say podcast. Cooley goes,
well, dude, I think you should be careful about saying you like me and also have a Vaseline in front of you because it doesn't give me no happiness.
Why don't we just shut the cameras off and we can keep the audio going? We can see what happens. No, we know each other. Again, you said you don't want to disclose how we know each other, but we know each other, and sometimes you'll be like, "Hey, Matt, I want you to come over and we can record a podcast." The way you say, just come over, we can record a podcast. I like that. The way you say podcast, you have a very deep register, and along with the accent, it makes for a nice sound. Podcast.
I appreciate it, man. I do like your bullshit. That's why I wanted to come over.
I'm full of it. I have a lot of that.
I can tell. But listen, man. Because I've got a lot of things to talk with you, man. And I know for sure that I'm cutting too much of your time, my brother. Let me hit another one. I wish I had another mic. Sipo can jump in here because Sipo, you can join us if you want. Okay, all right. So listen. I want to ask you about another thing here. I don't know if you're interested into this stuff because we just talked about the Democrats and we'll leave that conversation for later on if we have to go back to it. But now I want to ask you something. Why are you on this marijuana talk?
In terms of what? I mean, that's a...
Do you support the legalization of marijuana?
I support legalization of marijuana. I probably support legalization of all drugs.
Do you smoke? Whoa. What did you say?
I support the legalization of all drugs, probably.
No, not heroin or methamphetamine.
All drugs, yeah. I probably... If we were pushed to it, I probably would support the legalization of all drugs, yeah.
Why?
Just because I don't think that we should be locking people up in cages for using a substance that you put into your body. I don't think it should be the government's role to regulate what you can and cannot put into your body.
No, but Matt, I think we should be careful when it comes to some of this stuff. Like, honestly speaking, like meth, and we're talking about heroin and all of those drugs. Those are like some high super drugs. The reason why I support marijuana, and I agree with you, we should support marijuana, is because it's a natural substance, dude.
Well, just because it's a natural substance doesn't mean it's good. So, have you heard of like poisonous toads?
For psychedelic and stuff?
No, just poisonous ones, like actual ones that would kill you, like venom. Or like rattlesnake venom. Rattlesnake venom is natural. It doesn't mean it's good.
Yeah, they use it for some things, though. Do they use it for medicine purposes?
I don't know, but their sugar is natural, right? If you eat too much sugar, you get fat. Like,
I'm
example
fat
of that.
too, bro. So if you make me feel better.
Fat brothers.
All right.
No, so just because it's natural doesn't mean it's good. You have to have another reason as to why you would support legalization. So the argument for legalization of marijuana, or I like to call it cannabis because that's what it is, and other drugs, it's not that the use of these drugs is good, is that the illegality of them is bad. It leads to bad outcomes. It leads to bad people being incarcerated. I am basically interested in lowering the incarceration level in the United States. I want less people in jail.
I think I was gonna say. I think the way you started that conversation of drugs, it sounded like you were going somewhere else. Because I actually think that we should be legalizing marijuana, but we should be careful about other drugs. But on the other hand, too, I guess I'm a hypocrite because I'm still saying that we should prescribe all of these other drugs that are coming through pharmacies that are killing people too, because those two can have some significant serious problems. But the thing is, the other stuff, of course, is because people do it for pleasure. Of which that's where my problem was, is that we shouldn't be allowing people to use cocaine for pleasure and all of that kind of stuff.
Not?
But on the other hand, dude, because think about it, some of the people, dude, cannot go back. That's what the problem is, because you get so addicted into this thing and you are so always high and you can't even realize the reality, and most of it lead to people doing some unforgiving sins.
Cocaine's already legal, though. It's already legal.
When was cocaine legal?
No, it's already illegal.
Oh yeah, it's already illegal.
And people
so I'm
do
saying
it all the time.
Well, yeah, that's true, but I mean.
So the way I think about it is, if you're saying that if we legalize heroin, cocaine, methamphetamine, ecstasy, all these other ketamine, all these drugs, it would lead to more people. Yeah, I mean, there might be a slight uptick in the people of using these drugs. Okay,
yeah.
But I mean, if you're talking about maybe structuring a policy in which we would sell these drugs through legal means and then tax it and then use the money through taxation for like programs to get people cleaned up and then off these drugs, I can see something like that working. But to me, it doesn't seem fair or just that I go and buy something, like a product from somebody, I put it in my body, and now the government's going to say, nope, we don't let you put that in your body. We're going to take you to jail and put you in a cage. That's where I don't like it going down that path.
Oh, okay, all right. Let me just say something for you, because I got something over here. For that reason, it says this is it's coming from and it's an article I found online. It says Oregon, which is Oregon, some people say, marijuana market has too much weed, price is dropping. So an Oregon problem of excess weed stock from overproduction has forced the hand of the state legislature to pass 2 laws to stem the falling prices and sell the pot beyond state borders. And the state legalized marijuana in 2015 has pursued a liberal policy in granting licenses to growers to bring the black market into a now legalized industry fold. There's a situation that is happening in California too.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is that when they passed the legalization of marijuana, so basically you have these growers that are selling weed over in Oregon, right? Over in California too. The state has too much taxation, fees, and all of that stuff. Like in California, to have your own store where you can sell, you have to put in at least $50,000 first just to get the license. And if you want to even be a grower, that's even more money. So that has forced a lot of people out. So it didn't really work for them, because what is going on in California, you find that the black market is thriving. Because think about it, if you have to go buy weed at the store and pay $5, but you can get it on the streets for $1, you might as well go back to the streets. So in Oregon, they're having the same situation too, where they gave all these growers licenses, but everybody is growing. So who's selling to who? So that's why they're going out of state line right now, trying to figure out if they can make some money out of state line. So what I'm saying is that it's working against them, because like in California is the fees. The fees are forcing people to stay at home and do everything at home. And then in Oregon is to give too much licenses. Now you have too many growers. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so these are very complicated issues, and I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I know the ins and outs of California cannabis policy. I really don't.
But just using just a general knowledge, what do you think about that?
So, I mean, you said your question before, would you rather pay $5 to go to a facility, or would you rather pay $1 on the street? It depends on who you are. If you're poor and you're just looking for some cannabis, you might pay the $1, right?
But most people, though, who actually use this stuff
Are not.
frequently, they don't have the money.
Yeah. But people who do have the money, and if we're talking about that, if that's a $4 difference, you might be better off going to a store and paying a higher price, because presumably you know where you're getting your cannabis from. You know the type of strain it is. You know the effects of it. You'd have a professional person there describing what the effects would be once you consume it. There's just more. There's a better regulation of the market. In terms of oversight, government oversight. If on the street, I mean, who knows what you're buying on the street?
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, it could be mixed with it. It could be mixed. It could not. Maybe it's not purified. And like I said, between Oregon and California, now Massachusetts, it's legalized recreationally and medically, and there are definitely problems. Like in terms of Oregon, the recreational cannabis market has grown so much that it's basically phased out the medical side of it.
Yeah, you know what's so funny?
They're closing medical marijuana cannabis clinics, and so it's a very complicated subject. And again, I don't pretend like I know everything about it.
I don't know it either. But I've been to Portland, Oregon once. Have you ever seen the slogan that says "Make Portland Weird"? Have you ever seen it?
I have heard that. Make Portland weird. Yeah.
I don't
know what it means, but I've heard.
I've been to Portland, Oregon.
Is it weird?
It's totally weird. You know
what's the weirdest thing you've seen in Portland, Oregon?
I have to calculate if I can say this. She won't mind. It's long time ago, baby.
Okay.
Portland has the most strip clubs in the country.
Really? I did not know that.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming you didn't go to.
Let's pass that. I was going somewhere else. No, I didn't go. I'm a good guy.
You're a good Christian.
But I was just saying, the funny part about weed, when I was in Portland, Oregon, dude, I've never smelled so much marijuana in my life. I've never smelled so much marijuana. Beer, Sipo, can you hand us a couple of beers, brother? Is the PBR, so we call
these guys right here.
The PBR.
Yeah, have one yourself. And what is it, Sipo?
His name is Sipo.
Sipo, have one yourself, bud. Have one. It's good.
Sipo, let me tell you something.
Good.
It's called the white people beer. Baby.
Oh, the white people?
It is. Have you know Sipo?
Let me try one. I want to see how to be white.
Holy shit.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was the end of the conversation about weird. It ended up being weird, but so now listen, you know what, I found something really interesting online too. I think you might want to talk about this. Okay. You know what Bill Gates said? Bill Gates,
very rich.
He said, no, of course he
that's
said,
what he said. He goes,
but anyway, he said he has one regret. He said that the greatest mistake he said the greatest mistake ever is the whatever mismanagement I engaged in that caused Microsoft not to be what Android is. Meaning Android is the standard non-Apple phone platform that was a natural thing for the Microsoft to win. So the fact that they didn't become Android and compete strongly with Microsoft, with Apple. So he has that regret.
I guess. It just seems that I don't really know that much about it, but I guess Microsoft didn't really. Their focus wasn't on cell phones. Their focus was on computer systems. Yeah. Operating systems. And they made a lot of money. Listen, Bill Gates is doing okay. He's fine. You're like, so what? He's complaining that he didn't have what? He's not making. Android. He's not worth another $20 billion. Is that his complaint?
Rich people's life.
Who cares?
Rich people.
If he's sitting there and he's saying that, my biggest regret is that I didn't invest heavily in the cell phone market, and that Microsoft isn't a bigger player in that market. I think he needs to go back to the drawing table. I don't think that should be his biggest regret.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's upset about it because he talks about it. But you know what? Another thing too, I'm starting to think, dude. Microsoft, dude, made millions, actually billions, off of selling those Microsoft. They still sell the programs, right?
Well, they have an operating system.
Is there an operating system for Apple?
Yeah.
What
it's
they have?
OS. And there's different versions of it.
But do they have like kind of like Microsoft Word and Microsoft?
Yeah, they have
Excel?
like a OneNote, OneTouch. I forget what they. I actually don't use it. So like my school gave us a free Microsoft. So like I have a Mac. So on my Mac I have Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, all that for Apple. So I don't use it.
So Apple does take all of those too?
Yeah, I mean you have to get a version for Apple, but you can use it on there. Yeah.
Wait a minute. So you're saying Microsoft make one for Apple too?
From my understanding, you have to have a certain version that you can use on iOS on Mac that you couldn't use on whatever operating system Microsoft uses.
Oh, okay.
I could be wrong. This is out of my, I don't know, in terms of tech, I'm pretty much a functional.
Me too, my brother.
I don't want to say
too.
the R word.
I don't want to say anything because I don't know nothing. I just know that I own a very fancy phone. It's called an iPhone XR. It's a very, very beautiful phone.
I am fucking sweating like I'm in actually South Africa. I'm sweating like I'm in South Africa.
Yeah, because you're talking, so you're doing the activity. If you were sitting still, you won't be sweating.
I don't know. I'm a sweater.
I'm a sweater too, bro. So you are right at home.
Before I came here, I went to Robex to get a smoothie, and from my car into the store to get the smoothie, I was already fucking sweating. I think I've lost like 15 pounds since I've been here, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but
yeah. Well, I mean. Hey, listen, another thing too I found out on the news. I don't know if you're interested in this. Because you are in the medical field, I guess they are using Dikembe Mutombo, the U.S. Department of Health. They are using Dikembe Mutombo. You remember Dikembe Mutombo?
I do remember Dikembe Mutombo. Get out of my house, man. Get the fuck out of my house. Do you ever look up his highlights of him blocking people? And he gives them the finger? Have you seen them?
I don't know if you're interested, but I do have a Mutombo.
What do you mean you have a Mutombo? What do you own Dikembe Mutombo? What do you mean you have a Mutombo?
Let's leave this one for another day.
Okay. I don't know what the hell you're talking about,
but anyway, they are using him. They are actually using him to record messages for people to be careful of Ebola.
He does good work. I don't know the specifics of it, but he does go back. He's from South Africa, right?
No, he's from
is he from Africa?
Democratic Republic of Congo. That in that east part of Africa. No, west part of Africa where the Ebola area was.
He I don't really, like I said, I don't really know a lot about it, but I know that he's done some good work there. He's really he goes back to the community and he talks and he tries to invest in the community and I guess make for a better situation. I do know that. So
yeah, he does a pretty good job. He built a clinic actually. If I'm not mistaken, I think he built a hospital in his own country. But he has a lot of money, man. The guy, I don't think he's worried.
Yeah, man.
About
a lot of people have a lot of money, but they don't do anything with it. So I mean, we should praise to some extent.
Yeah, that's true.
You know,
that's true.
Like Bill Gates. I mean, I think he's donated like $25 billion through his charity. So
Jesus Christ.
He's got a lot of money. I think he should give more of it away. But he gets credit for giving away $25 billion.
Yeah, you know what? I've seen Bill Gates' house too.
Where is that at?
Actually, I mean, I don't know how many houses he has, but I'm not. Am I flexing here? Because I sound like I'm flexing. I'm not.
I've been to Oregon. I've seen Bill Gates' house.
Well, I used to live in that side of the world.
I'm awesome. I've some cultured. I've seen all this shit. I've seen Canada. I've seen Ireland and London, Florida.
You have seen more. Florida. You have seen more places. What the hell is going on in Florida? Then?
Florida's fucking nuts, man. Have you done that thing where you put in the date? So just do this right now. Put in a random date into Google, and then put Florida man after it. Have you done this thing yet?
No, I don't think I have.
Yeah, just put in a random date. So, like, I don't know, April 2nd, 2017, Florida man.
Oh, let's put the date today. Is it today, the 25th?
Yeah, but do it from, like, the past, though.
Oh, okay. Let's
It
try.
makes it more
So
interesting.
you said April,
It doesn't really matter. You can put whatever date you
April
want.
what?
April 22nd, 2016, Florida man.
2016. What were you saying, Simple? What were you saying?
You know, I'm saying this is interesting. I want to know what's going to pop up.
And then you just read the first headline, whatever it is. He's got a fancy iPhone, but he can't use it apparently.
Shut the hell up.
Maybe you should have used the Android. I've been to Bill Gates' house, but I can't use a fucking Apple iPhone. What's the holdup here? I don't get it.
I don't know. I mean, I don't get it. Like, Matt. So the first article I see. Should I give you this?
Yeah, give it
the
to me.
first article I see. It says, serpent smooch lands Florida man in a hospital. Oh shoot! He was trying to. Oh my
Yeah,
god!
you have to read the story.
Should I read the story? Oh, okay, all right. Yeah, all right. Let me read. It says a Florida man hospitalized after attempt to kiss a venomous snake. So that's what it's about.
Yeah, you just put in any random date, and then you put Florida man, and there's some ridiculous story about someone in Florida doing something ridiculous.
Something stupid, right?
Yeah, like trying to make out with a snake.
Let me. How about this? Let me put today's date. I just want to see if it works for today. June 25th. June 25th. 2018, right?
It's 2019, Cooley.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Fucking guy can't even keep track of the year.
Oh, dude, it actually does have a story.
What is it?
This is incredible, bruh. It says Florida man caught on camera pooping in a stranger's driveway. What did you know about this?
Hit us with a date. Hit us with a date.
Hit us with a date.
2019 to 2019.
What month?
Okay, April 25th.
April 25th of what?
It's my birthday. I want to know who did what on my birthday.
April 25th of what?
Of 2019.
2019. So let's see. April 25th of 2019. See. And then I have to say Florida man after that, right?
You have to put Florida man.
Oh, if you don't put Florida man, it doesn't work, right?
Yeah, and it's mostly men if you can.
Yeah, this is weird.
tell.
This is so weird. Okay, listen to this. Florida man stabbed nephew for hogging the bathroom.
Wait, for hugging the bathroom?
For hogging.
Oh, hugging the bathroom. So that was happening on your birthday. Someone's getting stabbed for hugging the bathroom while you were celebrating your birthday.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys will check this Florida man thing. This is incredible, man. So, hey, listen, man. I mean, we chopped it up. We can always talk some more stuff another day. But the thing is, listen, the reason why I want to end the show is because I want to steal some of your time to do something with Sipo, because you both are musicians, and the Sipo.
Well, like I said, I wouldn't categorize myself as a musician. You make music. You know, I just like to sing.
Oh,
there's a difference.
Listen,
there's a difference.
Can you give me one last tune though? What else can you give me? Do you have anything country or something?
So
what kind of music do you like?
I like everything, but I can sing some country, like some.
Well, what is there a song that you want me to play in the background or no?
I'd actually rather not have instrumentals.
I'd
rather just do it a cappella.
Okay, what song do you want to do?
We can do some Ray Charles.
If
you want.
Okay, all right. You're gonna do Jay Charles. So I guess we're supposed to play a beat for you, right?
No, you don't have to do it.
Okay, just straight up a cappella. You doing your thing?
Yeah, I can do it. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Matt, my beautiful friend here, who came to the studio. We talked the whole entire time and had such a good time. He's gonna close the show and with the song by Ray Charles. What's the name of the song?
I Can't Stop Loving You.
I Can't Stop Loving You. Take it away, Matt. Thank you so much. Thank you for tuning in.
I can't stop loving you. I've made up my mind to live in memories all the lonesome time. I can't stop wanting you. It's useless to say, so I'll just live my life. Dreams of yesterday, those happy hours that we once knew. Though long ago, they still make me blue. They say that time heals a broken heart, but time has stood still since we've been apart. I can't stop wanting you. It's useless to say, so I'll just live my life. Dreams of yesterday.
Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, Matthew, thank you, my brother. Hey, give me a drop too before you leave. Give me a drop. Umbani Radio, whatever. Give me a drop.
Umbani Radio. Follow me at OG Delicious on Twitter. Umbani.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, my brother. Thank you so much, man.